So, during lockdown and just since uni ended, I've been trying to read more books, big brain stuff. I've been reading fiction, but mostly I've been reading, I don't want to call them self-help books because bad memories of high school, but just books that sort of have been reframing the way I think and just my perception of things, and I think that's really useful to do, especially in a time like this with like COVID and everything. I'm reading this book called The Achievement Habit, and it's basically just how you can sort of just break down that big wall of awful that's stopping you from doing stuff and actually just focusing and being like, I'm gonna do this, and then doing it. Imagine a concept. And I'm usually really good at doing things, and I try not to be too hard on myself, especially during lockdown, because things are weird, and I think it's kind of psychopathic when people are like, this is the time for you to thrive, because I am thriving in different ways, but a lot of the time I'm scared and I'm worried, and I just finished uni and I'm adapting, and that's okay. Like, I'm not gonna beat myself up about that. I did at first, don't get me wrong, but now, no, not for me. I thought about it, not for me. So I try and read like 20 pages a day, or like listen to 30 minutes of an audiobook, and I'm listening to this book on Audible. Like, I'm listening to the audiobook, and I had to like sit down because, oh fuck, I got my big brain. I had to sit down because at the end of every chapter, and just whenever he wants, he just throws in these fun little exercises to like zhuzh things up. And this one's about problems, and it's about, are you actually trying to solve the right problem, or are you making things harder for yourself by looking at the wrong problem? And for a long time, I've had a problem. Many problems, but the one we're focusing on is me not knowing how to be creative right at this minute. Let's just go through the thing. So he said, this is a way to reframe your problems and solve them by making sure you're focusing on the right problem. So I'm going to read through the steps, and I'm also going to give you an example of what I did. So number one is ask yourself, how do I? So how do I do the thing you want to do? Achieve the thing you want to achieve, or get the thing you want to get. And so my how do I is, how do I become creative with filmmaking again, / how do I make films again? Because since my dissertation film crashed and burned with COVID, it's been really hard to get that momentum going again. And I've written scripts, and I've gotten ideas, and I've filmed little things like little vlogs and stuff. Nothing's good enough, I'm just not letting anything be made, almost. I'm like self-sabotaging. So the second part is, you've got to ask yourself, what would it do for me if that answer was solved? And I had to take a good think about this, and I came to the conclusion that I feel as if I made films again, I'd feel more like myself and like I had a purpose, which sounds kind of sad, but that's just the kind of person I am, and I'm okay with that, because filmmaking is like the best thing for me, the best thing I can do. Like, it makes me happy, So then the third bit is, change those answers into a question and consider new solutions to this new question. So my answers was changed to, how do I feel more like myself and like I have a purpose again? And I started writing down some things that I could do, and it really hit home because it's obvious, but I'm just not doing them. And I'm sort of just like, oh, I'm not being creative. Why am I not being creative? But I'm not really giving my chance to think like, why do you want to be creative, and what could you do to feel like that again? And these are the things I wrote down. I can express myself artistically without the need for goals. So, I finished uni, and my whole thing during uni was, I'm a sleep-deprived film student who makes films in her bedroom, and she just always making crazy. And then when I finished uni, now I'm like, I have a bachelor's degree in art, and suddenly this little film I want to make about a little toadstool that lives in the forest, doesn't seem like something I should be making, and it's just put a halt in everything. I'm like, I should be making something polished and like big brain, and I'm not making anything because of that. Like, I've been wanting to make a frog film, I've been wanting to make a film about a Tamagotchi, and I've just not done it because I'm just like, oh, I'm big brain now. No. The second one is I need to create constantly but without pressure. Yes, so a lot of the time when I was making films in the last year or so, the last film I made was because it was a commission. The film before that was because it was for a deadline for a film festival, and also it was a music video for a girl I knew who has a band. You see, like, I'm only throwing my creativity into things that have either deadlines, monetary value, or advances my career. And I think that's really sad because, you know, like a month ago I started making animation about a mushroom, and it was just like this 10-second thing, and I think I sunk in like 15 hours of work because I've never animated anything like the whole thing animated before. So it was a lot of work, a lot of learning, and it was a whole audiobook I listened to like while doing it. Really great audiobook. Damn, Gillian Flynn. But then I let myself get to like 15 hours and I was like, Fiona, where are you gonna put this? You can't put this in your portfolio. Who's gonna see this and want to hire you? I was just thinking about like jobs and just like, oh, you can't submit this to a festival, you can't do this, like it's not gonna advance you in any way. That's really freaking sad. Like, when was the last time I just made something because I was like, I want to see a little mushroom do a little dance? That's why I should be creating, you know? Like, yes, also the other things because money and advancing my career. But at this time, the fact that I'm not creating because I don't think it's gonna advance my career, like, we're in the middle of a pandemic. Who knows if I'm gonna have a career coming out of this? You know? It's just really sad, and I just want to get back in a swing of not having to sit back and be like, who's gonna watch this? Where can you put this? And that's why I love TikTok, because TikTok, you just throw it out there, and, well, I do. I mean, other people spend hours on it, and I think that's beautiful, but not me. I film a little bit, that was my hand farting, I film a little bit, boom, toss it out there, and that's fun. But I feel like I can't just make something because I want to see it anymore. And that's really sad. Like, there's things I want to make that, yeah, might not be festival material, might not be show reel material, might not be the thing that gets me my next commission, but I want to make it. And I have time this now. And the fact that I'm not making things because it doesn't make me successful in like a monetary value or like a societal value, what? You know, I just miss when I was like 15 and I'd just be like, I want to make a YouTube video about my fish dying. Or I would just make films because I wanted to be a filmmaker, not because I wanted to be included in something that's bigger than myself. I just wanted to make something for myself because I wanted to see it on screen. Like, I need to stop thinking, who wants to see a stop motion film about a frog and think, I would like to see a stop motion film about a frog. Doesn't mean I'm gonna do it, but like I'd at least give it a try. Like, and I'd start things like I'd vlog and I'd be like, who wants to see this? But I have really nice clips of like my family and like beautiful days that I lived, and the fact that I'm like, who wants to see that? I want to see that. I love watching back my old vlogs and like my old document your lives and stuff. Like, when did creating become something that was for a purpose instead of just being creative? Like, I read this great book by the woman who wrote Eat, Pray Love, Elizabeth Gilbert, called Big Magic. And like every girl like me reads it. But but like she talks about how, like, you know, there's people who have affairs. Not the best example, but they find time to have an affair because it's exciting and it brings them joy. Not, don't cheat on people, but like you should see your art like that. Like you should just steal some minutes away, like wherever you can, to just do a little bit of art because it's exciting, and not because it's a job, and not because you expect something out of it, just because you want to make it. And it doesn't have to be perfect or great. I just want to make things again and not worry about everything else. I think uni has sort of put me in a position where obviously it's like you've got to think about where you're going next, but sometimes I don't want to think about what comes next and I just want to draw a mushroom doing a dance. So hopefully you'll be seeing more of me, just doing stuff, just doing what I want to do, and if that's cool with you, it's cool with me. So, and I think we should all do it. And I think you should try this thing about any problem you have. I'll try it again. Like, I literally just found out about it, like, 20 seconds ago, if even. But, like, damn. Okay. I hope you're all doing good. Bye.